Hello everybody, it's Shirley, and today I'm going to be doing some books, just showing you some that inspire me and some other books that I will be using for next year's inspiration as well. A lot of these books have come from the thrift store or I bought online through eBay. The first book I've got is Growing from Seed, and it's a Mr. Fothergill's, and it's got all of Mr. Fothergill's seeds, and this one's for Australia, and it's been pretty helpful as well, and I will be using this one a lot more because I want to be using more seeds. I was really late with the garden this year, so I got a lot of seedlings from Bunnings, but there was quite a few seeds that I managed to get going. And but I do want to plant more out, and I do like this one because it does give some plants as well, which I might use. I want to do more flowers this year rather than vegetables, because the vegetable bed that I do have, I think it's big enough. I don't need any more. And the middle bed with the pumpkins in it, I'll just let that go. So anyway, this book is really good because it goes through the seeds that Mr. Fothergill has, and it shows you how to plant them all out and when to plant them. And being more for Australia, this is quite a useful book to have. So yeah, I'll be looking forward to coming back to this book and using it a lot more. But this one was just published. So it's written by Margaret Hanks, and it's by Murdoch Books. When was it published? Doesn't say. No, doesn't say. So yeah, it'll be interesting to compare the seeds that are in this book and the seed names, and I'll go on Mr. Fothergill's website and see what's changed and what's been added. So this is a really useful book for me, so definitely coming back to this one. So that's Growing from Seed, and it's the seeds for Mr. Fothergill's. The next book is, this is more of a British, so it's Allotment and Garden Guides, and it's by Twigs Way, and it's part of the Dig for Victory sort of allotment guide. And this was published, was this published? 2009. So I think this will be useful as well, because the way I set my garden, when I was going in with the garden right at the beginning, I was just going to dig up that entire bit of ground there and have like this huge plot, and my brain, being like it is, it couldn't deal with that. So I started to go online, and I come across allotment gardens, and I planned out my garden like an allotment. So there's two sort of sections that are sort of allotment style, and that's how they are planned. My brain. So I don't know how useful this book will be for me, because it is, based for Northern Hemisphere, but I'm sure a lot of it I can figure it out because it'll be all reversed, and a lot of the tips and that will help me get things going. So I plan to use this book a bit more. So like, see, this is December, and for the Northern Hemisphere, they'll be in winter, but we are in summer. So if I was going to use this book, I would go to the summer section, like July. See? So there's a summer section, and I would use the summer section for December, if that makes sense. So, yeah, I'm sure a lot of this will be useful for me to use. This book is based on old leaflets and that, so I've got to be careful what I use as well. So being British, I don't know if the names of certain things have changed, which they would obviously, especially like some vegetables and that. So like Swedes, I think we call them turnips. Don't know. Yeah, that's about as much as I know about gardening, which is not a lot. I'm learning as I go. But that's interesting about tomatoes, pinching them out. And we've had a lot of rain in the last couple of days, and it's supposed to rain again today. And the tomatoes are really not doing well. Currently, the ones that I've got planted look okay. They come up, but all the ones I've got in the seedlings that I've got in pots, they're not helpful. See, the birds are different too. I don't have the smaller birds in their backyard there. We usually have the bigger ones. So this book might be useful in some parts. The Allotment and Garden Guide by Tweaks Way. I'll look at that one. Another one that I've been using a bit and looking at a lot is this Companion Planting in Australia. The text is by Brenda Little and the drawings are by Ken Gilroy. And this was published in... When was this published? Doesn't say. Okay. But I have found this really useful because it is about companion planting and it is for Australia. So I planted out, and looking at that, I can put dwarf beans with them, silver beet, lettuce, cabbage, and such. So depending on the time of season, I do get kookaburras in the yard too. So I found this one really useful. So the cucumbers I've got planted, they're coming in, they've got flowers on them. And what do cucumbers grow? Cucumbers grow with potatoes, beans, celery, lettuce, sweet corn and cabbages. And they love sunflowers. I've got more sunflowers in, so I'll plant some more sunflowers around the cucumbers where I've got them. So yeah, I find this one really useful as well. And I've been looking at this a lot. There's also at the back here, they've got what doesn't go together. So that's interesting. They've got the list of the good things to put together. So I will be definitely looking at this book a lot. I think it'll be very useful. Another one that I have found really useful, I've got Jackie French's Herb book as well, but this one is pretty useful. It's Backyard Self-Sufficiency, and again this one is for, she goes through what you could plant in your backyard. So I really found this quite useful. And being, for the Southern Hemisphere, it helps knowing when to plant stuff. I think in the back here there's a section when to plant things. I don't think, I was thinking about getting some chickens, but yeah, maybe not. and there are some recipes in this book too, which is pretty good. Yeah, where is this? It's in here somewhere. And she does give some Australian plants too. So here's a calendar, which is really helpful. So we're in December. And she's telling what to do and how to do it. She tells you what to plant. So corn, beans, and lettuce. And then you should be harvesting potatoes, tomatoes, and such. And this is Backyard Self-Sufficiency by Jackie French. It's a good book for Australian gardeners. Now, the other books that I'll be using, I want to also look at working with my health, and I thought I'd look at healing with the garden. So the book I have is Flowers That Heal, and this is by Judy Griffin, or Dr. Judy Griffin. And she works with elemental beings, and particularly the Fae. And she goes through, certain herbs and flowers and how to use them to overcome health issues. As always, check with your doctor to make sure they don't have, any herbs and oils and anything like that doesn't, affect your current medication. And be cautious that it doesn't affect your skin or anything like that. So just be cautious. Okay, be really cautious, especially be cautious if you're pregnant or think you're pregnant. Do your research, in other words. So yeah, I thought this might be a good book to start looking at health issues and just cleaning up my health and using a garden to do it. So, okay. Right, and this book was published in 2002. Yeah, look, there's a warning. Okay. The recipes are not substitutes for medication or therapy or whatever it is you need. Okay, so yeah. So that's Flowers That Heal by Judy Griffin. And I'll be working through that next year to get my health going better. Another book that I have quite a few different ones with herbs, and I will be looking at more herbs next year as well. I've got this one out, and I thought I'd use this one. That's pretty basic. So it'd be a start to getting back into herbal medicine. And just how to use herbs and whatnot. So there's a fairy circle. So in the fairy garden that I've got going, I've got elder. Well, I know not to plant broom. And I can plant in more lavender, more sunflowers, and more rosemary. So yeah, I'll be using this book a little bit more. This is A Witch Among the Herbs, and this is Ilana Strum, I think is how you pronounce that name. And this was published in 2016. Once again, do your own research, be careful with herbs and anything you are taking, so just make sure you really are cautious about what you use. Okay, now the other book I got out to have a look through again is this one. Look, it's a thrift store one. You can tell it's 50 cents. I don't think you'll get books at the thrift store for 50 cents anymore. This is called The Given Garden by Tony McKenzie, and it's illustrated by Dale Brown. And I did a flip through of this way back. And I showed this one. It's published in 1987, and there's a lot of information of how to use flowers for crafts and potpourri and flower pressing and cross stitch and all that sort of thing. And that's what I'll be looking at more next year as well. So yeah, and at the back here she does give some information of what plants to grow for potpourri and crafts because of the certain scent that they have. So I'll be looking at the back of these and using that to plant some things out so I can have potpourri and other sort of crafts going. Like I've already got lemon verbena there, lemon scented verbena. Yeah. But I quite like this book. It's very, 80s style look to it. Yeah, I quite like that book, so I'll be looking at that a lot more. This is called The Giving Garden by Tony McKenzie and illustrated by Dale Brown. Last, the other book I'm going to be looking at is this one by Kate Llewellyn. It's Honey, and they're poems. And a lot of these poems are all nature-based, and this was published in 1988. And she's an Australian author as well. So this is a thrift store find, and I thought that would be interesting to get looking at poetry, different authors and particularly Australian authors, and see how they write as well. And I hope to get in some more modern poets and keep going with my poetry. Okay, that's the gardening books I'll be looking at next year in 2025. A lot of them I'll be using on and off for the to help me get my garden going. At the moment, the garden's pretty much at a standstill. I'm just things are coming in, starting to grow. I still haven't done the 2 beds on the, is it the left-hand side? No, the right-hand side, on my right-hand side. I'm thinking of definitely putting herbs and flowers in there. I have got to put out the watermelon. I've got to do that yet. The other thing that I've planted in is silver beet. I've got the radish going and the carrots going, like I said. And it's just moving along and waiting for this rain to sort of calm down a bit. It's been sort of on and off, and things a bit slow. Well, I make things a bit slow, but you know how that is. So that's my garden video for hopefully next year. It'll be more promising with the garden. Okay, that's all from me today. Thank you for watching. Bye.